There we go. Alright, welcome to part 2 on the Honda 200x here. As you guys know, this is a 1984 ATC 200x. Last video, we were able to get spark on it, which took a while, and we figured out that there is compression. And we actually fired it up for, I think it was like about a second we got it fired up for. Today we're going to be taking apart the carburetor, changing the oil, changing the gas. What else are we going to be doing? Oh, I got a new chain for it. So hopefully by the end of today we can take it for the first ride. And yeah, that's the plan. So I think the first thing we're going to do is change the oil here. This stuff is really old oil. You can tell by how black it is. I mean, it's completely black. So we're going to change the oil first. There's a little skid plate on here. So let's see if we have to take that off. I'm guessing we probably have to take off the skid plate. Oh, I feel a little hole right here. So we might not have to take off the skid plate, but we'll start with that and work our way towards the carburetor. Stay tuned, should be a fun one. All right, went to Fleet Farm, got some new towels. We got some 10W40. We got 2 quarts. I don't think this thing takes much over 1 quart, but we got 2 just in case. Got some famous WD-40. And we got this little guy. I'm trying to see if we can put some gas in here and shoot that down the carburetor. This is like a little adjustable, bendable thing on the top of it. So instead of pouring stuff down a gas line, we can just spray that in there. And it's good to put like oil in and stuff and squirt. I think that's all we got. Oh, and then the spark plugs. Funny story on the spark plugs. We were running the completely wrong plug for this, I'm pretty sure. So the plug we have in it right now is really short. And these are what are recommended for it. The plug was like about half that. So hopefully this is the right plug. We got 2 of them just in case. Hopefully it's going to run a lot better with the correct plug. It should. I mean, I hope this is the correct one. I looked it up on 3 different sites and they all recommended the same plug, so we'll see. Then we got a 520 chain for it. I bought this from the local dealer in Oshkosh. It's a 520 by 100, so we're going to have to cut it a couple links off. That won't be a big deal. I think it's a 520 by 88 chain that goes on here, if I'm correct here. The sprocket looks a little worn, but we can deal with that. We have to take off this cover and see if there's actually a front sprocket in there. Oh yeah, I can see it peeking through. Okay, but the next step is going to be probably checking if it goes through the gears after we change the oil. So, alright, let's see how bad that oil is in there. Alright, so I'm pretty sure the drain plug is right there. You can see that thing sticking out of the motor for the engine. See it right there? I think that's the drain plug. But we're going to take off the skid plate and see what's underneath there, because that's kind of a weird spot to have oil drain from. It's really not the lowest spot in the motor, so not really sure how that would work. Just a bit. I think there's two in the back here too. Alright, there's no drain bolt underneath the engine here. Take a look. You guys can see that. No drain bolt. So the one over here is the drain bolt. Let's drain that out. There's gotta be a different drain bolt on this thing. Ah, right there I think. Unless it's the filter. I think that's the filter right there. If there is a filter on this thing. Right there. That big bolt on the side. try taking that off. It's a mystery. That must be the fill plug right there, where it drains out once it fills up to that point. Let's take this guy out of here. I'm new to this. I haven't ever worked on one of these before, so we'll see what's underneath this. Oh man, gonna need the breaker bar. Oh, jeez. Like I said before, I don't think the oil's ever been changed on this thing. Oh, jeez. There we go. This looks like a place for a filter. Oh, there's some oil coming out. With a spring in there. Look how black that is. She's a little black. Just a tad. No metal shavings or anything coming out, doesn't look like. That's a good sign. Alright, we'll let that drain. And then we'll put the plug in over here. Alright, so I just pulled this little guy out of there too. That was in there like that. Looks like a little filter of some sort. Little strainer on there. So that came out just like this. So the rubber end went in. So we'll clean up all these parts here. See if there's any metal chunks in there. No metal chunks anywhere on this thing. Usually you have some metallic flakes, but the thing's pretty clean. Alright, let's put some new oil in this thing. Again, 10W40. See if it doesn't leak here. See where we're at on the dipstick. We're at the top of the dipstick. A little bit more in for safe measure. We'll call that good right there for right now. And then we'll check it again later once we run it. Check it one more time here. Yeah, you can see top of the dipstick. Alright, oil is changed on this thing. Let's get the carburetor off, start tearing that apart. Alright, so the carburetor's sitting right there. Let's see what it says. It says PZ26. I don't see any name on it. Oh, here we go. Japan. Say Con. It says Con Designs on it. We'll have to take it out and look at the other side of it. But it's just held on by these little 8 mils right here. We'll take that out and check that out. All right, let's see if we can maneuver this carburetor out of here. Kind of a tight fit. Wow, that was a tight fit in there. And as we know, the slide on this thing is locked up, so we'll have to get that free. can see it's locked up. You get a little screwdriver and try to pry that up here. There we go. Wasn't too bad. All right, let's take a look on the inside. Ooh, look at all that green coming out of there. That is a bright green. Wow. It's crazy. Carburetor doesn't look, it's not horrible. It's bad, but not extremely horrible. So we'll get this thing cleaned out. You can see, I think this is ethanol that was ran in there. I think that's ethanol that does that green color like that. Pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, all these need to be cleaned off, blown out. Hopefully it'll run great after this carb clean. Needle stuck in there. We're gonna have to put this in the vise and tap that pin out of there. See how many screws this is in. That doesn't even want to screw in. Wow. Or out. Alright, yeah, let's continue to work on this and come back after it's done. Alright, carburetor's all cleaned out, ready to be installed. Alright, so the little cutout part is going to go facing towards the intake side. And then we're going to test out the slide and see if that goes up and down. I took some 2000 grit and just went over the slide just to take off that little film that was on there. Let's see if I can get this to screw on. These are sometimes tricky. There we go. Take the choke off. Let's see if that's going up and down in there. Oh yeah. That's good. So the cable's not locked up. Alright, let's install this back on here. Alright, carburetor is all good to go. We gotta get this boot back on there. And then, let's see what else we have to do. Alright, let's take out the spark plug and put the new one in there. Get this guy out of here. So this is the old one that was in it. This is the old one. This is the new one. See how much longer the threads are? The old one was a D8HA. The new one is a DR8ES. Alright, I looked it up in a couple different forums and threads, and everyone's saying that this is the right spark plug. So we'll try it, and we'll just kick over the engine very slowly. And if the piston hits, we know it's the wrong plug. But I'm 99.9% sure it is. Let's see here. New spark plug is installed. Well, should we put some gas down it and see if it fires up here? Just want to tape up these wires quick. I meant to do this yesterday, but didn't get around to it. Just a temporary fix for this. All right, here we go. Also, I just bought this little thing. It's for oil. We're gonna put some gas in it and just see if that pumps some gas out of there. Not sure if it's gonna work or not. We will find out. This thing was like $13. Doesn't look like it. Must only. Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. Check that out. Okay, that works. Just took a while to prime it. Pour some down the carburetor here. All right, here we go, moment of truth. See if it kicks over. Let's see if we're getting spark here. All right, so we weren't getting spark. One wire came unplugged. Let's try this again. Awesome. It runs, guys. It runs. It's alive. That's pretty sweet. I can hear something sizzling. I think it's just the gas burning off. Well, let's try it again. Get that oil moving. I'm pumped. Ow, my foot. This thing's got good compression. Holy cow. I think I gotta put a boot on. Probably doesn't help that the angle I'm kicking it at is kind of weird too. add her idling. Oh, the light works too. Check that out. And it ran out of gas. Huh. The light works too. Cool. Alright. So next step is going to be probably cleaning out the gas tank, getting that all back on, making sure the oil's full, and then getting the chain on there. Probably taking this thing for a rip. Stay tuned. I completely forgot. We gotta check the valves here quick. Take that cap off, and see what those are at. I'll quick check the manual and see what they're supposed to be at, and we'll adjust those. All right, let's get these caps off of here. All right, we're gonna spin this until we find a mark up here that lines up. All right, guys, found the T. I had to take a flashlight and look in by the flywheel area. It's way at the top. There's an F and a T, and you go to the T. That's top dead center. So now that we're at the T, the valve should be loose here. Let's check the valves here. See if they're loose. Yep. That one's not. Oh yeah. Yep, I feel playing them for sure. Alright, let's adjust those. Alright, intake is 0.003 inches and exhaust is 0.004. So we've got 0.004. I already did the intake. That was a little bit high, so I adjusted that a little bit lower. And let's check what this one is. I kind of had to bend these to get them to work here. Yeah, that one's a little bit tight, so we'll loosen that one up a little bit. All right, we got it loose. Slide this guy underneath there. Right there. Tighten that back up. All right, check again. Perfect. Barely slides in there. Alright, those are adjusted. We're good to go. Alright, before we put the new chain on, I want to see if it shifts through the gears. So let's just quick go through the gears right now. Hopefully it does. That would really suck. Came all this way and then it doesn't even shift. Alright, let's see here. So are we in neutral? Nope, we're in first. Okay, there's neutral. There's first, back up to neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth. Sweet. All the gears are there. Super smooth too. Alright, let's get the chain on here now. Alright guys, we got the chain on. I didn't film this part, it was just pretty boring, just cutting the chain. Getting it on there. It was 88 links plus it was 87 links plus the master link, which made it, I think, 89. And then we had to, it was really, really tight when I put it on. So I had to adjust the chain using this right here. 7/8 bolt, back that off, 12 mil, 12 mil. Back this one off first, otherwise they're gonna strip that one out. So back this one off, then back this one off, and then The further this is out, that's tightening. This going in is loosening. So we got it to the perfect tightness, and that's all set to go. Rolls smoothly and everything. So we're gonna put the cover back on. We've got the oil. I had to add another half quart of oil in here because it was low after I started it. So we got this thing topped off. You can see oil is all the way up the stick. So we're good to go there. We've got to put the skid plate back on. We've got to clean out the gas tank, hook that up, and then we can take this for the first ride. Alright, so before we do any of the other stuff, I wanted to fix the back brake, and I found out that this thing was empty. So fill it up with a little brake fluid. Hopefully this does the trick here. Oh, it's sucking that up. Dang, where's it going? Take the bleed screw out of here. Sitting right there. We'll crack that. Oh, did you see that? It's like a turd. Alright, gas tank is hooked up. Put the seat back on here. Alright, let's see if she starts up here. I ended up putting a filter on the gas line right down here, you can see it. Just in case I had a little bit of rust in it yet. But pretty much got all the rust out of the gas tank and dumped out the old gas. So we should be good to go. Let's put a boot on, kick this thing over, and let's see if it moves. I'm pumped. I'm hoping it moves. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, first ride. Let's see if it starts up here. Try to do a wheelie with it. Runs pretty good, really smooth actually. Alright, first ride complete on this thing. I did not think we were going to get this thing running. I thought for sure it would have low compression, but it proved me wrong and it lives. So I'm really happy we fixed this thing. This thing was just abandoned and I think it was just wishing for a new life and we finally gave it to it. So yeah, it's really fun to ride. I flipped it, you could see it, I tried to wheelie it and I just was upright and it kept on moving. I had to chase after it and holding the clutch to get it to come down, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Really fun machine. I think next video we're going to take this thing for a proper ride and just make sure everything's working on it perfectly, check the oil again, make sure everything's perfect. I think it's smoking because we put oil down the cylinder. Remember the first day we worked on this thing, we put a bunch of oil and WD-40 down the cylinder, so hopefully that's the reason it's smoking, or maybe the rings aren't quite sealed yet. So yeah, this thing is really fun. Stay tuned for part 3 when we take it for a nice rip, do some wheelies, have some fun with it. And yeah, thanks for watching guys, thanks for subscribing. Till next time, we are out.